checkered flag, he wins.
Back victories for Sam Bachman as he takes the win at the Port Royal Speedway.
Wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins.
A corner down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight.
Chad Greggs, on Knoxville Nationals champion. But to the checkered flag, Blake Christopherson, your winner at Lernerville. Here they come off of turn number 4. To the checkers, Templeton takes the win.
Through the back stretch into corners 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win.
The 56 wins. First time winner Randy Streets.
But your winner at Weed Sports is going to be Brandon Templeton in the Saltfield.
Alright, here we are live once again here at Flinger Farm TV. Tonight we're here at crap. I just saw the track name and now it slipped my mind. Oh, let's go ahead and pull it up here real fast. Here we are tonight. We are here at Williams Grove. There it is. I want to call it New Williamsport. I don't know where my mind was going. But we're here at Williams Grove Speedway tonight. Here in Mechanicsburg. As you see, the weather here is fairly great here tonight for some great racing action. As you see, Flinger Farm TV here to give on the night. We get set here, and something not right there on that. So I gotta figure that out as we get situated here. Something's not right there on the oh great, now you go not found. Alright, well, we are here at Williams Grove. Starting here off with the 358s. Qualifying soon to commence. We see here coming down into the corner. Oh, come on now. Do what I want you to do here. That's not what I asked you to do. There we go. Now we get set to rock and roll here. Everything comes up. Now, it looks like we got it there on your end. I don't have it yet on mine. Try to get it up here. Alright, now it's still giving us issues here with SDK at the moment. Give me a moment here as we try to reset it once again. He said these are going to start getting lined up here for qualifying. And again, we want to give a shout out to next week's races, which are going to be the for Bill Calder. First race every night, I think starting on Sunday, if I heard correctly, is going to be dedicated there in hosted here on iRacing for them to run. Unfortunately, as much as I'd want to be here for Thursday night, I have a prior commitment. So next Thursday, I will not be able to make it. Billy Roberts out there in the 99. Leadfoot Mafia coming around turn 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Joseph Grundy out there in. This is the fastest right now with the best time of 20.020. And just out of curiosity, I took a test drive around here last night, And yeah, I need to pick up some speed here, as my time was a 20.591 last night whenever I decided to get a couple practice laps in. There we see Scott Riome there in 12. Or 12 fastest, that is. Who knows? I don't know. It would depend. I mean, every track is different. And you never know what type of times you're going to hit until you're on the said track. Hey, watch him come down through turn 1 and 2, getting here ready for the qualifying. Give me a moment. I got to get my... Alright, as we see, the qualifying is underway here at Williams Grove. Looking at Brandon Templeton as he's out there on track right now. And he heads down through off that start pit, or off the corner down there in the 3 and 4. And they work down there in the corner number 1. You see everybody's times coming in. Matt Barber with a 20.665. Dean Reynolds now up there with a 20.682. Clay Christopherson has not made a run here yet. Isaac Salas still getting around. We see Palmer Lou also going around the track. 21 points. Oh! Salas now up there in 3rd with a 20.675. Matt Barber in 2nd with a 20.665. And you got Jeff Barger with a 20.651. So far, there is your qualifying times for the driver. As qualifying comes to an end, here we go. Out there getting started with heat number 1 here in just a moment. Hopefully everybody's hearing me okay. Well, we sometimes seem to have an issue with that. So hopefully everybody hears me. Now we got everything situated here. Yes, everybody's hearing me just fine. That's great. We'll get started here with heat number 1. Here is your starting grid. Robin Banks off to the start. We have Billy Roberts there in 2nd. Isaac Salas there 3rd. Jeff Barger 4th. Dylan Kinsey there 5th. Alex Parmalu in 6th. Mike Brewer in 7th. William Watson there 8th. Barry Wallace there in 9th. Now we got to go and get here the, so there you see the starting grid up there on the screen. Here we go. Green flag will be out here next time by. Great looking machines out there. Now they headed on out through the start-finish line in the corner number 1. Ryland Banks, your pole sitter here tonight. Billy Roberts there in 2nd. Isaac Salas 3rd. Jeff Barker back here in 4th, maybe 5th. We're trying to look out there. Isaac Salas having some issues with connectivity. Down that back straightaway they go. Now we try to get it on out here. They come there off corner number 2. On through 3 and 4. Out here on to the front stretch they go. Down and away. They are out there in the corner number 1. Green flag out there. And in the corner number 1 they go. Loud pedal press with Billy Roberts there on the inside. Look out. Here comes Salas down there on the inside in that number 5 machine. Down that back straightaway, Billy Roberts at that number 99 up there leading the way, but he's got Banks down there, and Banks going to slide up, catch him there a little bit as he slides up and clears him there to take the lead. And oh no, Roberts gets into the side of Salas as they work there off through 1 and 2 now. We see the 513, Jeff Barker down there on the inside trying to get underneath Roberts down in the corner number 3 and 4. Salas there in 2nd. We got there. We got Banks out there in front, Salas there in 2nd, Roberts there 3rd. Now you watch him head on down there in the corner number 1 and 2. On to the backstretch. 6 laps to go here in heat number 1. The 99 of Roberts there in 3rd as we watch him come down there in the corner number 3. Side by side coming off. Salas underneath Banks as they head into corner number 1. Salas trying to get the nose there. Banks, hanging on tough on the outside. Wallace has had issues here in heat number 1. He has crashed out. We see Salas still working there underneath Banks as they roll there off corner number 3 and 4 back down through the front straightaway. In the corner number 1, they you see Roberts down there on the inside as well as they roll down through the back. Salas there 2nd, Banks out front. Sitting there in 4th, that is Jeff Barker in the 513. Now you watch him head off through, and Salas now there to the inside. Banks once again, and they're in the corner number 1. 3 laps to go, and Salas can't quite get the run that he was hoping for. Now he's going to try to get the run here down the backstretch. Can't quite get there as of yet. We'll see here as he is underneath. Down there in through 3 and 4. Salas trying to get there. Salas will get the lead coming down off on turn number 4. Banks now there in 2nd once again. Here comes Roberts down there on the inside now as they work on down through the backstretch. Banks there 2nd. Salas out there in front. Jeff Barker, he's back here in 4th, but Brewer back here 5th. Salas still, oh no! Roberts ends up going around. He gets bunted there coming out of turn 4 as on the final lap. Comes Salas, Banks there in 2nd, Barker now 3rd, Brewer there in 4th. They head on out through here. Salas and Banks battling it out there, trying to get the win. Salas will get it though, coming there off of corner number 4. Salas for the win here at Williams Grove for heat number 1. All right, here we go for the results of heat number 1. That's going to be out here as Isaac Salas getting the win. We got Ryland Banks there 2nd, Jeff Barker there 3rd. Mike Brewer fourth. William Watson there fifth. Dylan Kinsey there sixth. Alex Parmalu there in seventh. Billy Roberts eighth. Barry Wallace in ninth. All right, on to heat number 2. Your starting grid looks like this. Joe Halter up there in front. Joseph Grandi there in second. Or Grandy, sorry. Joseph Grandy there in second. Dean Reynolds starts third. Matt Barber in fourth. Jeff Sharp rolls off fifth tonight. Brandon Templeton in sixth. Scott Rio in seventh. Harold Klump rolls off in eighth. And Clay Christopherson there in ninth. That is your starting order here as they come out of the back straightaway down there in the corner number 3. We're watching here coming off corner number 3. Joe Halter out there in that car number 22. The 28 out there on the inside there as well. That is the 280 of Jeff Sharp. That one come down through turn number 1. See the 16 there of Matt Barber on the outside of the FTM machine of Dean Reynolds. Looking here off turn number 4. Green flag comes to the air. 8 laps the distance. They come down through there. 9 cars here in heat number 2. In the corner number 1 they go. 8 laps to go. In the corner number 1. Out there on the outside. That is the 15. Or I'm sorry, no, the 518. Joseph Grandy trying to get out there in the front. Joe Halter ends up there in the middle, ends up getting Tiger, ends up slowly getting around as they all bottle up there, coming off turn number 4. Christopherson comes up quite a few positions there as he's up there in the 5th, down there on the inside of Halter. As they work off the back stretch, you're looking at Dean Reynolds up to 3rd. That 16 machine of Matt Barber up in the 2nd as they work off down here out of corner number 3 and 4. Grandy out there in front. And you watch the pack. There's Templeton on the outside in that number 31. Up there on the high side trying to get above that 051 of Clay Christopherson. Not quite there yet. As they head off down through off of turn number 4. Templeton back on the bottom side. And you see that full throttle motorsports machine of Clay Christopherson down there underneath that dirt track bank, number 22, driven by Joe Halter. In the corner, number 3 and 4, they go once again. Joseph Grandy out there in front. And we got him coming down there off of 4, down through the front stretch. In the corner, number 3, or corner number 1 and 2. Joseph Grandy out there leading the way. Matt Barber in second. Dean Reynolds in 3rd. And we got Joe Halter that we're watching back here. He's battling there with Clay Christopherson, but he's also getting up there to the back bumper. Dean Reynolds, Clay Christopherson all over the bumper there of Joe Halter as they work there through turn 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. 3 laps to go as they head into corner number 3 and 4. Joe Halter there in 4th. Clay Christopherson 5th. Matt Barber out there. He's in 5th. I'm sorry, no, Matt Barber, he's in 2nd right now. Trying to battle there with Grandy. Can't quite get up there to battle as of yet. Dean Reynolds there in 3rd. Joe Halter there behind him. Clay Christopherson, Brandon Templeton, Jeff Sharp back here as well. Trying to battle his way up here into the better positioning here. Templeton and Christopherson get together a little bit. Coming off of turn 4 down here in the corner number 1. Grandy out there leading the way for RMD8 Sim Sports. Matt Barber there in 2nd. Dean Reynolds in 3rd. Clay Christopherson in 4th as they head on out here once again. Up there across the start-finish line. It's going to be Grandy for the win here in the heat race number 2. All right, here is your finish results for heat number 2. That's going to be Joseph Grandy getting the win. Matt Barber there second. Dean Reynolds third. Clay Christopherson in fourth. Joe Halter fifth. Brandon Templeton there sixth. Jeff Sharp seventh. Harold Klump there in eighth with Scott Riome in ninth. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and led to a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and it got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Alright, we're back live here. As you see, we're getting ready for the race. We got Isaac Salas starting on pole tonight. Justin Grandy there in second. Rylan Banks rolls off third in the main event here tonight for the 358s. Matt Barber there fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. Mike Brewer will roll off in seventh tonight. Clay Christopherson in eighth. William Watson rolls off in ninth. Joe Halter there 10th. Dylan Kinsey in 11th. Brandon Templeton rolls off there in 12th. In 13th tonight, that's going to be Alex Pomerleau, as we got Jeff Sharp there in 14th, Billy Roberts 15th, Harold Klump there 16th, Barry Wallace 17th, Scott Riome rolls off 18th tonight. That is your starting field here, brought to you by RSN Trackside. Hey, watch him come out there through turn number 1 and 2. Lights are off on that pace machine. We're getting set to rock and roll here for the final event here for the 358s. And then we move on to the big blocks in 358 Showdown. I just don't know here at Williams Grove. I doubt we'll see anybody running a 358. I'd be shocked if we did. So I'm going to say it's the big block run tonight. Then we move on to the Pro Late Models. And if you listened to me last night, calling the Coast to Coast Racing League at for the Hometown Heroes, I keep calling those Pro Late Models on Wednesday night. I am completely wrong. Those are limited late models. The Pro Late Models run tonight. As you see down here for the 358 Modifieds, coming down that back straightaway, Isaac Salas working his way up front, down there on the bottom side. Up there into the front goes Salas. Grandy now in second. Barber there in third. Reynolds back here for it. Banks in fifth. Now sixth as Christopherson gets around him. Scott Rione and Barry Wallace having issues back here at the back. That is going to bring out caution number 1. Joe Halter somehow involved as well. All right, we see. Why is that the camera we have? That makes no sense. We see here, coming there off the back stretch down here in the corner, number 3 and 4. You're looking at Scott Riome as he slides up. Oh, okay, so it might have been. There's what happened to Joe Halter. Joe Halter gets picked up and spun around, collecting the 23 there. William Watson. Brandon Templeton there. I'm trying to see, is that Barry Wallace maybe that had problems there with Scott Rione? Take a quick look at it here. And they come out down the back straightaway. We see Wallace, Barry Wallace ends up getting spun around there and collects the 4 of Rione. Thank you for tuning in to the Coast to Coast Racing Network to watch your Coast to Coast Racing League here tonight. Hey, we got somebody cheering on Mike Brewer. He's currently sitting here in 8th. In that number 39. Working down there through the backstretch, getting lined up here, getting ready for the green flag. We see Salas and Grandy out there in front. Matt Barber there in 3rd. Dean Reynolds there 4th. Brown and Banks there 5th. Clay Christopherson, he's in 6th with Jeff Barker. 7th, Mike Brewer in 8th. Jim Sharp 9th. Harold Clump back here rounding out your top 10. Off turn number 4. Green flag back out once again. Joe Halter out. Templeton out. As they all roll down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds down there on the outside. He's got Barber there to his inside. Salas still hangs on to the lead, but he's got that 518 of Joseph Grandy down there on his inside, coming there off turn number 4. In the corner number 1, everybody's trying to find that little bit extra position. We see Barber down there underneath Reynolds. Can't quite hold on to it, but look who's coming to his outside now. That is Christopherson getting the run on the outside there of Barber. As he goes to the inside now of Dean Reynolds. Coming there off turn number 4. Can't quite get there. Dean pulls back in front. Christopherson now up there in position there now as he gets into 4th position. Matt Barber, he's in 5th. Mike Brewer, he's in 6th now. He still tries to roll his way up through the field. He gets up there in the 5th possibly. In that number 390. Trying to work on getting around Matt Barber. 25 laps to go here for the main event as we got Salas rolling down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Down through the back straightaway. Dean Reynolds in 3rd. Clay Christopherson there for it. Matt Barber there 5th. Mike Brewer in 6th. Ryland Banks in 7th. Dylan Kinsey there in 8th as we got Jeff Barker in 9th. Billy Roberts there in 10th as they headed on out here in the corner number 1 and 2 once again. Alex Salas there out front leading the way. Joseph Grandy there in 2nd. Dean Reynolds 3rd. Everybody trying to chase on. Pomerleau having issues. He got it back to the pits. Down through the front straight away. Grandy there in 2nd. Now we watch Christopherson looking to the inside there of Reynolds. Can't quite complete the pass as of yet. Down there off of corner number 2 down that back straightaway. As you watch him here at Williams Grove. Christopherson still trying to get underneath of Dean Reynolds as they work down there. 22 laps to go. Billy Roberts here in the 99. He's trying to work his way back up through the field after his tough finish in his heat race. He's up here in the 8 trying to chase down Dylan Kinsey right now. Up there on top. Brewer there in 6th. Barber there in 7th and 5th. Salas is still up front. Grande there in 2nd. Reynolds there 3rd. Up on down there into the bottom. And battling on out here. And watch everybody sliding around. There you see that 35 of Harold Klump work down there in the corner number 1. Watson there in 12. Jeff Sharp, he's back here in 13th. Looks like Ryland Banks might be out as well. So we're down to about 14 drivers to try to complete here tonight. Now got Jeff Barker, Billy Roberts trying to battle it out there. There, Dean Reynolds in 3rd. Christopherson there for it. Matt Barber back here in 5th. Brewer in 6th as he works down there on the bottom side. Coming off turn number 4. Got to really get that bottom, the hook, and get it to stick. It's not easy to do. And, oh no! Tire loose on the number 39. As he caught one of the infield tires. He's going to limp it back around the pit road, but there is a tire loose on the front end of that machine. Now we see Brewer trying to get it back to pit road. Salas out there front. Grande there 2nd. Reynolds in 3rd. Christopherson there 4th. Matt Barber there in 5th. Dylan Kinsey there in 6th. Scott Riom in 7th. Roberts in 8th. Barker there in 9th. Harold Klump there in 10th. Now you're watching them all roll down through the front straightaway. Now you're watching Dallas go down through the back straightaway. Grande there in 2nd. Reynolds there 3rd. Up through into corner number 3 and 4. 16 laps to go as they come here to the line. It'll now be 15 laps to go. As Salas brings it across the stripe into corner number 1. Salas up there on the top side. We got Grande down there on the inside line. Trying to see if there's any extra moisture down there on the bottom side. Through 1 and 2. Also now down here through 3 and 4. Gonna slide it up there into the middle of the corner. Coming there off. He got Reynolds right there behind him. Christopherson there in 4th. Matt Barber there 5th. Dylan Kinsey there 6th. Scott Riom here in 7th. Billy Roberts back here in 8th. Harold Klump, Jeff Barker rounding out your field here of the top 10. And Eddie Barker in that 513 trying to chase down Harold Klump in that number 35 machine. Watson there underneath him trying to get that number 23 underneath of Barker so he can get up there into the next spot. Bobby trying to get himself a top 10 as he rides the bottom. Randy out there in 2nd, as we said. Salas still leading the way in that 5 machine. 13 laps to go. Dean Reynolds there in 3rd. Clay Christopherson back here in 4th, but he's got company from Matt Barber. As Barber looks down here to the inside. Can't quite get there now as they roll off down into corner number 3 and 4. Barber in that number 16 runs there through the top side for Christopherson. They roll on out there. Barber's still trying to get that bottom side to get that extra bite that he needs to try to get by Christopherson. Can't quite seem to find it yet as they work down through the backstretch. Into corner number 3 and 4. Isaac Salas out front. Randy there in 2nd. Reynolds there 3rd. Christopherson there 4th. Matt Barber there in 5th. Down that back straightaway. 10 laps to go here at Williams Grove with a 358. This is the Thursday Night Thunder from Coast to Coast Racing League here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Along, if you are ventured over there at FFTV, we are live over there as well. Down through the back, or down through the front straightaway. And as we've said before, as we're watching them go around here at Williams Grove for the 358s as the laps wind down, once again, we want to give a shout out there to Bill Calder. We definitely want to make sure we hit that event hard for next week. Great job he's done with this Coast to Coast Racing League. It wouldn't be where it is today without his work that he's put into it. And can't wait to see how these events next week pay off as tribute to him. We head there off in the corner number 3 and 4 with Clay Christopherson. So if you're interested, I'm sure there's ways you can find out there in the description of the Coast to Coast Racing Network video. There might be something there. We'll get with Dean here. If he keeps Christopherson behind him, we'll talk to Dean here at the ending of the 358 race, which would then which would help the viewers understand exactly what this Bill Calder tribute week will be like here at Coast to Coast. Now let's see, Barber now getting underneath of Christopherson. 6 laps to go. We got the 79, Dean Reynolds there in 3rd. Grundy there 2nd. Salas out there in front. Clears Dobson there 4th. Matt Barber in 5th. And if I understand correctly, the other cool thing about the tribute races, they're all under-hosted next week. Also, there is going to be a week championship. Not the points will count towards the season like they normally would, from what I understand, but then they're also going to count the points up for the week and declare a Bill Calder champion at the end of the week. Make sure I get this right once we talk to Dean here. As we come there off corner number 2, 3 laps to go. Barber's still trying to fight with Christopherson. As Christopherson's watching his time fade here to get up there to Reynolds. Grandy out there in 2nd. Salas, what a run he's had here tonight. Winning his heat, starting on the outside here for the feature. And then comes out and runs and gets looking like he's going to get the win here in the main event here for the 358 modified. Off a turn 4 down that front straightaway. Final lap, white flag in the air for Isaac Salas as he rolls down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Final time for the 358s here tonight as they run down that backstretch. Salas out there in front. Grandy there 2nd. Dean Reynolds in 3rd. Christopherson there 4th. Matt Barber in 5th as you watch him roll out through here. Checkered flag waves for Isaac Salas. He gets the win in the 358s here at Williams Grove. Doug Grande looks like he'll end up with 2nd. Dean Reynolds there 3rd. Clay Christopherson there 4th. Matt Barber in 5th. Barber, I don't think that's the entrance to pit road that you were looking for. We'll get with our results here for the 358s. So your 358s finish looks like is Isaac Salas getting the win. Joseph Grandy there in 2nd. Joseph Grandy there in 2nd. Dean Reynolds at 3rd. Clay Christopherson, he'll finish 4th. Matt Barber there 5th. Dylan Kinsey there 6th. Scott Rioman 7th. Billy Roberts there in 8th. William Watson there 9th. Jeff Barker in 10th. Jeff Sharp in 11th. Harold Klump there 12th. Barry Wallace there in 13th. Mike Brewer 14th. Ryland Banks 15th. Alex Pomerleau there 16th. Joe Holler ends up in 17th tonight. So that is your 358s. Now let's go and get with our winners. All right, we'll get with Dean Reynolds here. Good evening there, Dean. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam? How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well here tonight. Really, that track looked like it worked in quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, it was a little weird how it wore in. 1 and 2 wore in like normal, but 3 and 4 did not. You kind of had to change your lane how you normally do it here in 3 and 4, and I had to do that, and but it worked, and we stayed for third. I mean, Joseph and Isaac were a little bit better than I was, so but that's okay. We'll take a podium. It's always good to get on a podium, and we'll put a big block in these cars now. We'll see what we can do.
Alrighty. Well, you're going to go back and get... I don't think we're going to see too many 358s bursting the big blocks here tonight, right?
No, I don't think you're going to see hardly any 358s at this track here. I think that's a good bet.
That's kind of where my head was, too. But here, it's a bigger track. The more horsepower, the better, is my thought.
Yeah, and usually with most tracks, more horsepower is the better. I'm always one of those guys that said, hey, I don't want to leave any horsepower on the table. And I've always felt that, and that's what I do. Even on the small tracks there where you can use a 358, it seems like it might be the car to use, but then when you get a restart and you get your doors blown off because you got a 358, and then you kind of wish you had a big block. So I always kind of stay with the big block.
Racing somewhere like Kokomo, I think a 358 do okay against big blocks at Kokomo.
Yeah, that's about the only track I will run a 358 is Kokomo, except for last week, because with the car count and everything else and what the track burned in, I went with a big block, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I mean, you did a great job tonight getting third place here in the small blocks here in the 358s. We were talking here on stream a little bit about that Bill Calder race tribute next week. You want to tell the fans tonight a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is have 4 races so Bill can enjoy extra distance races. It actually starts on Sunday with street stocks, and then we're going to pick one of the regular divisions on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and they're going to be extra distance races. They will count for overall points, so if you're running for the overall championship, you got to be in and run those races. But then we're also doing points for all 4 races, and then we have a point fund for that. I believe it's 25, 15, and 10. For the point fund for the 4 races put together, so it's going to have separate points. And then, we're also looking to take contributions as well. They're always highly accepted and grateful for people that do. And we're going to give all the money to Bill for his bills that he's incurring right now and help him out. But main thing is we really want him to watch and enjoy himself and see some good racing.
Well, I know he's done a lot here for Coast to Coast, so any appreciation we can send his way would, I'm sure, be greatly appreciated.
Oh, absolutely. And Coast to Coast, tens of thousands of dollars for charity, and that's great. And even though this is not per se a charity event, it's still to help out one of our own. And Bill's been the mainstay here at Coast to Coast for a long time, and we're happy to do it.
Alrighty. Well, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank here before you head off into your big block?
Absolutely. Got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. Always a great part to be that team. We're a proud sponsor. Thursday night we sponsor the 358s in the big block, so we're happy to do that. Adam, we want you to say thanks again for you and Fleega Farm TV for stepping in. Robert had to miss this week as well. He'll be back next week, so we really appreciate you stepping in and doing the broadcast. That means a lot for everybody. So thank you, and thanks Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race, and also I got to thank Super Dirt Car Series, World of Outlaws, and Dirt Vision, the companies I work for. If you want to watch the Outlaws and Super Dirt Car Series, make sure you get your Dirt Vision subscription. And congrats to Isaac, who I'm very proud to have Super Dirt Car Series on the side of his car, and congrats to Joseph Grandy on a real stout second.
Alrighty, well, hopefully, Roberts, we'll be back next week, because I will not be here. I'll be packing hundreds of pounds of sausage.
Yes, that's why they call you the farmer, my friend.
Well, it's for a good cause. My Lions Club sells it for our one of our fall fundraiser.
Awesome. Great cause. Yeah. So, good deal.
So, well, great job there, Dean, and we'll see you there in the big blocks, and we'll see if we're talking to you again.
Yeah, I'll try my damnedest to talk to you again, my friend.
All right. Good luck there, Dean.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, that was Dean Reynolds there in a third. We'll get with Joseph Grandy there, our second place finisher. Good evening there, Grandy. How's it going?
What's going on?
It's going fairly well. How do you think that 518 felt tonight here in the 358s?
It felt all right. wish the track was a little more racy. Searched around there for about the first half of the race and noticed that it wasn't going anywhere. So decided to stick back in line behind Isaac, and that was pretty much about it.
Yeah, it seemed like the middle slicked off quite a bit there through both corners.
Yeah, it was just the track didn't slick off completely enough. And I noticed that during practice and warm-ups that it wasn't really losing much tack, and didn't lose enough to where you could hit the bottom. So top was dominant.
Great job there. And anyway, getting that second place there. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting second place tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Raise the Bar, over all the guys over at RMDB, Catalytic Recovery, Hinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highlight Cinematography, my girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast. Congrats on Isaac on the win, and you, man, for doing the broadcast.
All righty. Congrats again, and if you're coming out in the big block, good luck.
Thanks. No, that'll be it for me tonight.
That's it for you? One and done?
Yep.
All righty. Well, you have yourselves a great night there, Grandy.
You too, thanks.
All right, that was another Grandy, one and done here. Here we got Isaac Salas. Good evening, Salas. How's it going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How about you?
I'm doing well. Trying to pick up where you left off last week?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's basically the goal here.
Well, I mean, you got a fan out there. Kim is watching and cheering you on here on the stream.
Yeah, it's my mom, dad, and Gramps are all watching, so that's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty sweet.
So, congrats out there getting that victory. I mean, what was your thoughts on that top side here tonight?
I didn't really think there was anything to it in 3 and 4. I mean, 1 and 2 is probably the place to be, just because of how slicked off the bottom was in 1 and 2. And if I knew that I could rip it in 1 and 2 without issue, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal. And just tried to run that as best as I could. And 3 and 4 try to just stay in the tack for, as absolutely long as possible. So, yeah, it was a fun little track, but not a whole lot of change.
Well, I heard from a couple other drivers that it just kind of wore in differently tonight than what you guys are used to.
Yeah, it's weird. Usually there's a kind of a slick spot right through the bottom there, and kind of right through the middle in 3 and 4. In all reality, that it kind of forces you to either rip the top and kind of play follow the leader, or that bottom comes back in and you got some guy just absolutely wall riding up top, burned off the right rear, and then you got somebody kind of just nice and right around the bottom there. And it was weird not to have either of those. So, I don't know. A very weird track state.
Well, we'll see what the big blocks bring, and I'm assuming you'll be out there for all 3 series here tonight.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Gonna try to do it 2 weeks in a row, to be honest with you.
That's a tough feat to try to do, so we'll see if you can.
Yeah,
you got a lot of stiff competition out there against you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was telling one of my friends today, it's like, man, anymore, you got to be, like, almost perfect to win these races at this point. So, yeah, we'll go give it a shot. I'm feeling good. I barely got in for the 358s, to be honest with you. I loaded in at, like, 5:59, so I was really pushing getting here even. So, to start the night off doing this well, pretty sweet.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and we'll see how your luck goes there in the big blocks. But before you go, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
I mean, yeah, big shout out to Mom, Dad, and Grants for watching. That's pretty awesome that they're all cheering and getting to do it over supper. Other than that, big shout out to Miss Kelser. She's at work. Venom Racing, Dean the Super Dirt Car Series for all their support. Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs. RSN Trackside, Mission 22 for all they do for our veterans, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Rincy Home Inspections. Thank you for the broadcast. Thanks to Coast to Coast for the league, and yeah, we'll go try to do it here in the big blocks.
Alrighty, well, good luck heading into the big block. You get yourself ready. There's a lot of competition coming your way.
Awesome, I appreciate it.
All right, that was Isaac Salas, your winner here in the 358s. Now getting himself ready for the big blocks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back here at Coast to Coast Racing Network in just a few moments with the Big Block Series.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight when we talked about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, qualify. I said qualifying is going to start right here. Checker flag waves here in the big block. Sorry, qualifying underway. See who comes out on track. I see Billy Roberts coming out. Scott Rio possibly coming out. Hey, drivers, come on out. Trying to find the best. There we see Scott Rio in that number 4 machine, and they roll down through the front straightaway. There's a 28 there. Jeff Sharp. Down through the back straightaway. Working there off corner number 4 down the front straightaway. They working here. Andy Patton right now trying to get his laps in. Right now, Jeff Sharp the fastest with a 19.701. Dean Reynolds with a 19.654. Jeff Sharp, as we said, with a 19.701. Billy Roberts with a 19.787. Dylan Kinsey with a 19.719. Eddie Patton out. There we go. Eddie Patton out there coming across the line. He's got a 20. Nope, scratch down a 19.983. And we watch here getting their final spots in. There you see Watson. Watson with a 19.807. Reynolds holding strong out there with a 19.654. Christopherson and Salas. There you see Salas right now on the speedway. They work down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Trying to get that qualifying underway. Up off of 4 down the front straightaway in the corner number 1. Right now his time is a 19.654. He'll tie there with Dean Reynolds. Let me see if I can split the hairs. And does not look like I can. Man, oh man, that's going to be tight there. Dean Reynolds and Isaac Salas tying with their qualifying time. Reynolds will start here in Heat 1. That'll put Salas in Heat 2. Billy Roberts starts here on pole at 0.99 with Mike Brewer in second. Jeff Sharp there in third. Dean Reynolds fourth. William Watson there fifth. Alex Parmalu there in sixth. Bob DeGood there in seventh. That is your starting grid for the Heat number 1 big block division here from the Full Throttle Motorsports sponsored modified series here tonight. Running both the 358s and the big blocks. But I don't, normally this is set up to where you can run either the 358 or the big block. But I don't think we've got any takers running the big block here tonight. Or I mean running the small block here tonight. I think everybody's in the big block. Lights are out on that pace machine in the corner number 1. Hey, all head on out here. Billy Roberts out there in front. Brewer there second. Jeff Sharp there in third. Alright, down there in the corner number 1. Side by side, 3 wide, and they work on out through the corner. Jeff Sharp there now in 3rd. Dean Reynolds there in 2nd. There's Dean Reynolds in 2nd. Billy Roberts out there in front. Reynolds had to start there in 4th. Has to try to work his way back up there into the front. Up there off turn number 4 they go. There we see Watson getting underneath the 397 of Pomerleau. Now Watson tries to get that spot away. We watch that 228 there of Jeff Sharp there in 3rd. Dean Reynolds up there. He's got Billy Roberts in his sights. Can't quite get up there as of yet. Down through the front straightaway. 5 laps to go. Here in heat number 1. And they head on out here through turn number 1 and 2. Back onto the backstretch. Jeff Sharp there 3rd. Pomerleau there in 4th. Watson there in 5th. And now he tries to find something there on the bottom. Sliding it around here. Out of turn number 4. Stripe racing there to the stripe. It's going to be Pomerleau. Getting credit with the 4th place position. Billy Robert out there in front. Reynolds there in 2nd. And Reynolds tries to find his way around Williams Grove here tonight and catch Robert. But Robert's putting on quite a show up there out front right now for Vitelli Motorsports. That works down through the back straightaway in the corner number 3 and 4. There you see Dean Reynolds, Jeff Sharp there 3rd, Alex Pomerleau there 4th. William Watson down there on the inside, still trying to get around Pomerleau as they head here off corner number 4. Watson still hangs in there, down there into the bottom of 1 and 2. Rolling there off turn number 3 and 4. They go into it. Billy Roberts through 3, into 4. With Dean Reynolds there behind him, trying to chase him down. Final lap here for Billy Roberts as they take it on out there. Mike Brewer having troubles here. He's almost there a lap down, but still going to hang on enough for the lap here to count. Now we come around here off turn number 4. Roberts gets the win. Reynolds there 2nd. Jeff Sharp there 3rd. Alex Pomerleau there 4th. Waiting for the official results, but I think we got to wait on Brewer to come around here. Yeah, Brewer puts it up into the fence. Oh, here, waiting on results at the moment. There we see heat number 2 getting gridded up, and here's your result for heat number 1. It's going to be Billy Roberts getting the win. Dean Reynolds there 2nd, Jeff Sharp there 3rd. Alex Pomerleau there 4th, William Watson there 5th. Bob the Good there in 6th, Mike Brewer in 7th. All right, heat number 2. Here's your starting grid. Harold Klump starts on pole. Jeff Barker in 2nd, Dylan Kinsey there 3rd. Isaac Salas there in 4th. Scott Rio in 5th, Andy Patton 6th, Clay Gustafson there in 7th. That is your starting grid here tonight. Yeah, 35, Harold Klump on pole here for Frank's Pizza. Alex Salas, you see him there in that 5 machine, sitting in 4th. Right here, attitude down that back straightaway. Here you see that 513 Jeff Barker up there on the outside. Salas getting anxious. All right, off corner number 4, down through the front straightaway. Green flag in the air, Harold Clump out there in front, into corner number 1. Salas got to try to work his way up there towards the front. He wants to try to compete like he did last week. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4, that's 639, Dylan Kinsey, getting underneath Barker. Kinsey gets the spot. Here comes Scott Rion. He's going to put the pressure on Salas. They come there off turn 2. Real close there with that. Rion coming slide up. And it looks like Salas might have touched the 513 of Barker. And I'm sure that Barker's up into the outside fence. Coming through turn 3 and 4. Salas moves up there into 3rd with that. And Salas trying to work his way there through the middle of 1 and 2. Down through the back stretch. Getting the power to the back wheels. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4. 6 laps to go for heat number 2. Where we see Clump out front. Kinsey there in 2nd. Salas in 3rd. Now, looking back, if we look back at our previous results from heat number 1, we did see that Reynolds, who tied Salas for the fastest time here tonight, or I should say Salas tied Reynolds, has finished his heat in 2nd, but Salas trying to get up there, battling here with 3 wide down the backstretch. Kinsey, Clump, and Salas all right there as we see Salas getting underneath of Clump. Clump falling back there in the 3rd possibly as they work there off the corner in the outside wall. Salas underneath of Kinsey now. They work there off of 2 down that back straightaway. Salas going to slide it up a little bit there in front of Clump. Christopherson there in 4th, Rion in 5th. Through turn 3 and 4, Salas underneath. Not quite enough though, trying to get underneath Kinsey as they work down there through turn 1 and 2. Salas still trying to battle with Kinsey to get around him. He's got 2 laps to try to get that position. Now a lap and a half. Now he's got coming around here to the final lap. And he's driving, battling out hard here. Down that front straightaway, Salas is underneath him. Can he hang on there? Now he goes to the outside, trying to get that momentum on the outside. Can't quite get there now. He looks back to the inside, coming down that back straightaway. Salas and Kinsey still battling hard for that front spot. Looks like Kinsey, though, or no, I'm sorry. Kinsey ends up sliding up. Salas underneath him. Salas gets the win here in the heat number 2. All right, Isaac Salas getting the win there in heat number 2. Here we go as your results come in. Isaac Salas, like we said, got the win. Dylan Kinsey there 2nd, Harold Clump 3rd, Clay Christopherson 4th, Scott Rion 5th, Andy Patton there 6th, Jeff Barker there in 7th here tonight. All right, out here for our warm-ups. We got just a little bit of time left, just under 2 minutes. We'll be back after this short message from one of our sponsors.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image. elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, back here at the Speedway, just under a minute left of warm-up here in the big blocks. As is the Full Throttle Motorsports Big Block Division. Drivers try to find out where they stack up. Best times here in warm-up. Salas with a 19.9, Kinsey with a 20.09, William Watson with a 20.094. Reynolds currently with a 20.217 for his best time in warm-ups. These drivers try to battle it out here to figure out where they need to be. Chasing down that front straight. Down here through the back straight into corner number 3 and 4. Up there on the top side. That is the 397. There, Max Palmer. As you see, Dean Reynolds there. Checker flag wave. We're getting ready for the start of your main event here with the Big Block Modifieds. Your starting grid brought to you by RSN Trackside. Here we go. We got Barry Roberts starting on pole. Isaac Salas on second. Dean Reynolds third. Dylan Kinsey there fourth. Chip Sharp fifth. Harold Clump there sixth. Alex Pomeroy there in seventh. Clay Gustafson there in eighth. William Watson in ninth. Scott Riom in 10th. Bob the Good in 11th. Andy Patton 12th. In 13th tonight, that's going to be starting Mike Brewer with Jeff Barker back here in 14th. Thank you, RSN Trackside, for helping sponsor Coast to Coast. Yeah, you're watching here live on Coast to Coast Racing Network. This is the Coast to Coast Racing League Thursday Night Thunder here with the FTM Dirt Modified Series. Alright, roll it out there, down through the front straightaway. Get ready for the start of tonight's race. Hey, we got quite the show here tonight. Drivers really showing up, putting on a show. Billy Roberts, your leader right now. Alex Salas there second. Dean Reynolds, he started in fourth in his heat, as we said, ended up finishing second. Billy Roberts out there, he finished first for his heat. That's why he's starting on pole, since he was heat one. Finished there on pole, or finished the race at first. Alex Salas finished his heat in first. That's why he's starting second, because he was in heat number 2. Brewer, he's sitting back at about, get this thing to stop moving around. Looks like Mike Brewer, he's back in a 14th position right now. For those that might be watching for Brewer. Hey, I'm here down the backstretch, get ready for the start of the race. Try to get the excitement up and rolling here. Hey, you look there at Harold Clump and Dylan Kinsey. Hey, Dean Reynolds. Alex Salas on the outside front row. Off turn number 3 into 4. Down that front straightaway they come. Side by side, green flag is out there, down and away. Down into corner number 1 they go. Roberts down there on the bottom. Salas up there on the high side, looking at the battle there of Harold Clump and Jeff Sharp. They rolling on down here in the corner number 3 and 4. And we stack them up. Oh no! Christopherson gets into the back of Clump. As they head on out here, Andy Patton, William Watson, and others all tangled up back here at the back. Scott Riome also involved in that one. Alright, Watson come down the back stretch. Andy Patton there in the 87. Scott Riome in the 4. There's Watson. So there you just see everybody. What the heck? What? Wait a moment. I didn't even think Scott Riome got touched and he went around like he was. Hey, watch here. There you see Scott Riome in that 4 machine. Watch it come down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Wow. Alright, Salas. There you see him in 17. Reynolds there 3rd. Bill and Kinsey there 4th. Hello? I got one more race after this. I should be done no later than 9:15. Right. Well, where's is Steven still out? Is Steven still out there with you? Grab my charger out of the wall. All right. All right, there you watch him come down the backstretch. Roberts out there in front. Salas still out there in 2nd. We're lined up side by side, ready to go back. Green flag racing as they come out of 4. Who's going to get on that loud pedal first? Look out! Reynolds down there on the inside. There we see Roberts trying to get up there in front of Salas. Can't quite get there. Salas put the hammer down to get up there and cut the outside rope off from Roberts. That's how it now slides it up, not quite where he wants to be. Now that he's got the 639 at Kinsey there, now he's back to the inside there of Roberts, down through 1 and 2. As these 2 cars battle it out down there off the bottom of the racetrack. Salas on the inside, Roberts now up there on the outside. Alright, while watching there through off corner number 4, down through the front straightaway, into corner number 1. Salas and Roberts still battling it out side by side. Seeing Dylan Kinsey back there in for it. There is Harold Clump behind Dean Reynolds. Coming there off turn number 4. Salas on the inside. He'll get credit for eating the lap. But Roberts coming there on top. 26 laps to go here in the main event for the big blocks. Brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Now you watch him come there off the corner. Now we watch there at 35 there of Harold Clump. Clay Gustafson there in 6th. Jeff Sharp there in 6th. Up there on top, Billy Roberts still leads the way over top of Alex Salas, but Alex Salas right there with them. They keep battling up. These 2 really putting on quite the show at the front of the pack. As look out, they're getting real close there, and Salas drives it in there deep up there on the high side. There comes that 639 of Kinsey. He's battling in there as well. Salas trying to find that lane that'll give him the momentum to get around Roberts. It looks like he might have found it. And we got Kinsey now battling up there in a second. But Robert's not done yet, and he gets back underneath. Jeff Barker, Bob the Good get together on the backstretch. Barker called. Is back here. It looks like he'll stay running. Salas out there in the lead now as Kinsey's there in second. Roberts there third. Dean Reynolds there fourth. Harold Klump there fifth. Up there on top. There you see Jeff Sharp down there on the bottom side. Mike Brewer here in the corner, number 1 and 2. Clay Christopherson there in 8th. Alex Palmer there in 9th. Scott Rio in 10th. 21 laps to go. Bob the Good, once again, having issues back here. He's crashed down there on the bottom. And stopped down there on the bottom of the racetrack. No caution, no. He's technically out of the way. He'll get it rolling once again. Now a lap down. And watch everybody come there off the front straight away. There is Kinsey running there second. Dean Reynolds there third. Roberts there in fourth. Harold Klump there in fifth. Jeff Sharp there sixth. Mike Brewer there in seventh. 18 laps to go for the Full Throttle Motorsports Modified Series on this Thursday Night Thunder. Ike Salas, your leader, still with Kinsey, trying to chase him down. There in second. Dean Reynolds there third. Roberts there in fourth. And Jeff Sharp's there in fifth. Mike Brewer there sixth. We're there all down that back straightaway. In the 3 and 4 they go. Salas out there in front. Kinsey there second. Reynolds there in third. Roberts there fourth. Jeff Sharp in fifth. Hey, Kinsey's running second. Salas doing all he can to hang on to that lead. Running that bottom now. And I'm really not seeing this track wear in a whole lot here in the big blocks, which I'm surprised with. Down there in the corner, number 3 and 4. I think we saw Bob the Good down there heading into the pits. Caution is out. Mike Brewer. There in the 03, or I'm sorry, in the 390. I'm sure exactly what happened there as he comes there out of the corner, slides up. Oh! Brewer caught the entrance to the racetrack up there on that top side. Brewer just not having the night he's won it here at Williams Grove. I got 14 laps to go. Ron, I'm sorry, but Brewer's been struggling here tonight. North Wilkesboro just has not been nice to him. Looks like Salas may choose the outside lane here for the start. I got one more time around yet. Green flag's out. Salas gets on the pedal down here in the corner number 1. What a jump he made. Coming here into the lead. Coming off that restart. Roberts there at second. Dean Reynolds falls back a position right now. We see Kinsey falls back into third. Reynolds there in fourth. You watch the three of them there off the corner number 4. Reynolds down there on the inside trying to get underneath Kinsey. Barker has crashed. Not sure exactly what happened to him. He's back here at the back. Salas still leads the way. Roberts there second. Kinsey there third. Dean Reynolds hangs on there trying to get into fourth. Hey, look down there on the bottom side, up there in the corner number 1. That bottom side trying to get to come alive for Dean Reynolds. He battled there for third spot. Salas out front. Roberts there second. Kinsey there in third, and that's 639. Reynolds trying to battle him out though. Work down there on the bottom. Reynolds works on the bottom of 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. And still working there. Reynolds trying to cut down off at corner number 4. Cannot quite get it to bite. As he comes through 1 and 2 right there on the bumper of Kinsey. Salas out front. Roberts there second. Oh man, I understand there, Ron. I think honestly, Brewers just, I think, hey now, trouble there in connection. Sorry about that, folks. That we're starting to jump around here. I do have the cable company coming tomorrow. I haven't narrowed down to what it is, so once it gets here, it should be fixed. So bear with me here tonight as I think the pause for my internet is getting a little hot. So it's trying to cool itself off of things. So just bear with me as the pod is working overtime here tonight. Hopefully it'll, like I said, that pod's getting a little hot. I think it's going bad in the pan and it's getting bad, so we'll have it replaced tomorrow for sure. Down here through the front straightaway, we got Billy Roberts there second, Kinsey there in third, Reynolds there fourth, Watson there in fifth, Salas still. Now, quit this, Internet. We only got 4 laps to go. Please, just keep with me here just a little bit longer. Salas is out front, getting there towards the front. Roberts there second, Kinsey there third. Dean Reynolds there in fourth. Watson in fifth. There are 3 laps to go now as Roberts there in second. We are in fourth. In the corner number 3, 2 game. We only got 2 laps to go. Isaac Salas as your leader out front. Roberts back here in the second. Kinsey back here in third. Reynolds in fourth. Rolling down there off of the corner. That's how it's worked down the backstretch. Final time here at William Grove for the Modified Series, brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports, here at Thursday Night Thunder. Coast to Coast Racing League, here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Hopefully everything's still running like it should. Looks like it settled out here. Congrats to Isaac Salas getting the win here in the Big Block Modifieds. Billy Roberts there second, Dylan Kinsey there third. Sorry, Dean, you didn't quite make the cut, finishing there in fourth. Alright, here we go. Your feature results. They're going to be Alex Salas getting the win. Billy Roberts there second. Dylan Kinsey in third. Dean Reynolds fourth. William Watson fifth. Scott Rion there in sixth. Jeff Sharp there seventh. Alex Pavalu in eighth. Clay Christopherson 9th, Harold Clupp there 10th, Mike Brewer in 11th, Andy Patton 12th, Jeff Barker there 13th, Bob the Good there in 14th. All right, now let's see if we can get it to cooperate. In the big block. Good evening here, Dylan. How's it going? You there, Dylan? Hello? I think I might have a little bit of connection issue going on, but I'm unsure of that. As my pod seems to be overheating a little bit. But great job. You got third here tonight, holding off Dean Reynolds there.
Yeah, it was a good run. Me, Isaac, and Billy, we put on a pretty good show early on, I thought. And didn't want to see that caution. That kind of ruined just a little bit of the rhythm that I was getting. And then, you know, Dean was right there for a while, and I started to break away a little bit. And then I took the white flag. And as soon as I took it, my contacts got blurry, and I kind of missed the line a little bit and won. And then I was just trying to hold them off, coming to the line, but it was pretty close. All in all, good race. You know, I'm always way better in a big block here, and track's all right, but I just wish, man, I just don't like the fixed set here. It's never comfortable.
It can be tough, and the track don't always help out, especially from what we've been hearing. It's been weird and a little odd tonight.
Yeah, 3 and 4 was weird all night. I could really, in the 358, I couldn't figure it out at all. And big block, you know, I kind of figured it out a little bit, just enough to hang on. But 1 and 2, I was dialed in pretty much. But yeah, 3 and 4 was definitely wearing weird tonight.
Oh, you got any sponsors out? Anybody you want to thank for getting third place here in the big blocks?
Oh yeah, all the guys at FTM, Gunnar Swan Speed Shop, Dean Reynolds of Super Dirt Car, Vertex Graphics. Shout out to Isaac and Billy we were racing pretty hard early on. And you for doing the broadcast, and everyone at Coast to Coast makes it happen.
Alrighty, well, congrats again. And are you done for the night, or are you coming out in the Pro Late models?
I think I'm going to be done for the night and go watch football.
Alrighty, congrats there, and have yourself a great night there, Dylan.
Thanks, you too.
Alright, now we'll get with second place finisher there, Billy Roberts. Good evening there, Billy. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You had yourself a great run there tonight.
Not too bad.
Well, I mean, you won your heat. Started on pole here in the feature, just unfortunately, just not enough to hold off Salas.
It's hard to hold Isaac off. It is, you know. Getting better, though. We're getting faster, winning some races, running up front. I thought we would have had a good 358 race, too, but kind of took a little bump in there in the heat race and ended up in the back and just couldn't make my way up to the front.
Yeah, seems like William Groves kind of had it in for you guys so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everybody got to win it on the first lap. You know how that goes.
Well, I know how that goes, but I'm also hearing from a lot of drivers that the track is just coming in really odd tonight.
I actually think the track was perfect. It had a lot of grip on the bottom in 3 and 4, and it was faster on the top. I wouldn't have got second if it wouldn't have been for the restart, and Isaac got a good start, and I got a good start, and Dylan and Dean got stuck on the bottom. Otherwise, you know, I would have finished fourth. That was a fourth-place car.
Well, I mean, you did a great job there tonight, getting second. Can't wait to see, what you got going for you. Are you coming out in Pro Late models?
Unfortunately, this is an Alta account for me to get in here, and I'm having some iRacing problems. It won't let me purchase a late model. Otherwise, yes, I would be in it, but I just won't let me purchase them. And been fighting with iRacing back and forth, and of course they're closed when I get off work. So it's one of these days I'll get one.
Alrighty, well, you have yourself a great night there, Billy, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, thank you.
Well, before you go, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for second place?
Of course, Leadfoot Mafia, our team, Mike Vitale, Jr., Jake, me, Randy, Gears Unlimited, my company, A&J Landscaping, Vitale Motorsports, of course you, Adam, for putting this on, and Coast to Coast for letting us do it.
All right, well, congrats, and we'll see you next week there, Billy.
And our best wishes to Bill Calder.
Most definitely. So second place there tonight. Congrats. We'll see you next week.
All righty. Thank you.
Billy Roberts there in our second place finish. I'll get with Isaac Salas. Good evening there, Isaac. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing well. I know your fans are really enjoying the show you've been putting on here the last couple of weeks.
Yo, I hope so. I mean, it's been quite a few weeks in the making, so I'm pretty happy about that.
I mean, you got 5 Thursday night races in a row here.
Yeah, that you are right on the money there. You know, in 358s, I missed 2 weeks, and then I think I've won all since then. And then I think I've only lost 1 big block. And late models is a totally different story, I guess. But
well, I mean, you coming out in the late models?
Yeah, I'm out here right now, trying to not be terrible. So that's exciting.
So you don't think you're going to go 3 for 3 this week?
Dude, I hope so. I'm not going to say I'm not, but I mean, it is a late model. It's it handles a little different.
A little?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, this thing's pushing like a dump truck right now. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll see what happens, but.
Yeah, I know for me, I run pro late models on Fridays, and I'm learning that brake can be your friend.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure out that brakes in general can be your friend. So ripping the bottom in 3 and 4, you know, in big blocks as well. You know, I could kind of stay right along the fence there on the bottom, and when I had hit it, it was so fast. It really was, and you know, that was using brake, and if I missed it, it was pretty bad. But
yeah, it's a fine line for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and you know, going back, like the top is just solid. You know, it's just a solid line in 1 and 2, and just you're able to create such a good rhythm for yourself that you know, it's really hard to start messing up after a few laps of doing it. And you get over to 3 and 4, you know, and it's like you kind of enter in close-ish to where you think you're supposed to, and hope that it runs good. And yeah, man, it's a little bit more fun over there.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and can't wait to see what you got going on in the pro late model when we get over there. You know, whenever that hits the track here in just a few moments. But you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory here in the big blocks?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, like I said earlier, just Venom Racing, Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs for that beautiful scheme, the last 2 schemes, actually, RSM Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Reams Home Inspections, Coast to Coast, and everyone that came out tonight. You, sir, for picking up the broadcast. You know, Mom, Dad, Gramps, I know you guys are still watching, so that's awesome. 2 for 2 so far, and then Miss Kelser, she was texting me even though she's supposed to be at work, so that's pretty funny too. And yeah.
All right.
That's everybody.
Well, congrats getting that second victory on the night, and we'll see how it goes here coming forward. So,
thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was Isaac Salas there, our winner here in the big blocks. Stay tuned. We will be back here in just a few moments with the Pro Late Balls. They are going to be brought to you by Regal Wraps and Designs.
It's time for another edition of iRacing Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we go. Getting ready here for the Pro Late models. Yeah, see them here coming around the racetrack, getting all set and ready. Hey, Scott Riom. They're out there. We got here with, as we said, the Pro Late models. Joseph Grande, your fastest one out there with a 18.881. Isaac Salas there with the second fastest at an 18.992. And then there in the 5 machine, Riom out there in the number 4. Well, we got 7 drivers out here, it looks like, in the Pro Late models. So qualifying should start here very, very shortly. There was a work down through the back stretch. Out there onto the front stretch they go. Salas out there with an 18.922 right now. Definitely got to work that braking these tonight, otherwise they'll just push right up there to the outside. Pretty much say hello to a dump truck if you don't use that brake. The only way I found on some of these corners to get that thing to slide around. And see how it brings it down around off of the backstretch. Waiting on to get ready for qualifying. Alright. Waiting to see what's going on. There's the checker flag for our practice. Alright, here we go. Who's it going to be qualifying out front? And one come down there off the back straightaway, onto the front straightaway here. We got him coming down in the corner number 1. Back up there off of 2. Workers 3 and 4. Salas right now trying to set quick time. He does with a 19 flat. Eddie Patton with a 19.414. Watson with a 19.050. And we're starting to have problems once again here. Bear with me. We try to keep things rolling. So Salas with an 18.968. Scott Rion currently out there on track in that 4 machine. He has it his nose to be in 4th place right now with a 19.172. Qualifying has ended. Here we go with your heat setup here tonight. Here's what it looks like. We got Scott Rion out there getting the start there in 1st. Dylan Kinsey there 2nd. William Watson there 3rd. Isaac Salas in 4th. Eddie Patton there 5th. Joseph Grandy there in 6th. Clay Thompson in 7th. That is your heat race for your Pro Late models. As we said, they are starting here. Let's see here. The heat race gets underway. 8 laps to go. Dylan Kinsey there 2nd. William Watson there 3rd. Isaac Salas, he's in 4th right now. Looks like we got 5 drivers out here taking on the heat race. Right down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. The 639, Dylan Kinsey up there on the top side. Salas down there on the bottom. Here is William Watson. Watson wants to close out Salas so he doesn't get another one. Uh-oh! The 639 gets picked up. Look out, here comes Salas. Salas now up there in the 3rd, right behind Watson. As they work down the backstretch. 7 laps to go here in the heat race for the Pro Late model. Salas going underneath. Coming off turn number 4. Can't quite get there as of yet. Going to try again here in turn number 1. This time he goes up there a little bit higher. Trying to get that grip. Gets a little loose there. I don't think that worked quite well. As he lost some ground there to Watson. They battle it out here onto the front stretch. Now down through in the corner number 1. Watson down there on the bottom. There you see Salad getting it hooked up. Trying to get it played out there. Scott Rio. Great job so far out there in front with the lead. Watson there in second. Salad's there in third, just trying to finish it out here. Andy Patton back there in fourth. Dylan Kinsey fifth. Clay Christopherson and Joseph Grandy are out. We'll see if they show up here for the feature. Yeah, you're watching them down out of the corner. Watson there in second. Scott Rio out there leading the way. Salas trying to chase down Watson. Scott Rio leading the way. 2 laps to go for Rio in the head there in the corner number 1. Watson trying to chase him down. Salas doesn't look like he has anything there in the Pro Late model here tonight. He's up there trying to find that grip. Down there through turn 3 and 4. Working off the fourth. Final lap. Scott Rio out front, but had a bumper full of Watson, so he's got to really watch himself. Don't make a mistake, and he come down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Back around here onto the front stretch. A little bit of distance now separates Watson from Riom, as Riom will get your heat win here tonight. There we go. Now, your heat results for the full Dirt Pro Late models is going to be Scott Riom getting the win. Watson there second. Salas there third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. Andy Patton there fifth. Joseph Grandy there in sixth. Craig Thompson there in seventh. Hey, take to the track. Be back after these short messages.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, here we go. Out there in front. Why are we not live here? We should be. Thank you. Camera didn't want to come online at the moment. And we got Watson out here. We got just a few moments here left of warm-ups. Just a minute left. Somebody's out there trying to get their times down. Salas, he's in a position here that he can find the speed if he can. Now, we see Watson out there currently running a 19.452. Salas with a 19.309. So, I mean, it's Salas could possibly find that speed, but it's not an easy feat to find. We'll get started here in just a few moments. "15 seconds left of warm-ups. Again, we'd like to shout out Bill Collar for the tribute races next week. You can find more information for that at C2CRL.com. There we go, getting set and ready to roll here. Here is your starting grid. When it shows up. Scott Rione starting out there on pole. William Watson second. Salas starts third tonight. Dylan Kinsey there fourth. Andy Patton fifth. Joseph Grandy there in sixth. And Clay Christopherson there in seventh. I do not know if Grandy and Christopherson are going to show up or not. So we might only have just the 5 drivers. Which that looks to be about right. As Grandy and Christopherson did not take grids here tonight at all in the Pro League models. Came out for practice, but that was it. Down there through the back straightaway, Riome out front. Watson there second, Salas there in third. Kinsey fourth, Patton fifth. That's the way it stands right now. Salas would love to go and have it finished out here to where he has the sweep here once again. He had the sweep last week at Kokomo. Looking to get the sweep here tonight at Williams Grove. Down there through turn 3 and 4. Oh, I'm sorry, turns 1 and 2. Pace car is going to pull up this time. Fred will pull it off. Then we'll go here. Green flag racing for the Pro Late models. 30 laps the distance, if I'm looking at it right. That is for the Regal Wraps and Designs Dirt Pro Late models. Green flag in the air down here in the corner number 1. Up there in front is Scott Riome. He won the heat, but here comes Watson to his outside. Salas down there on the inside, wanting to get around Watson as he knows Watson can go and keep him back there. Down there through turn 3 and 4, out there to the outside. Hold on, Salas now has company there. 5-639 of Dylan Kinsey. Kinsey trying to get up there in the top 3. Now we watch Watson there in second. Salas still hangs on to third, but Watson trying to hang on there. Get around Riome. Down there off turn number 4. Salas gets around Kinsey. Or gets some grip there now around Kinsey. Now we see Riome up there in second. Really putting that hammer down. Wanting that win here tonight if he can. Watson there in second. Salas there third. I battle it out hard here. Here comes Salas getting back underneath. Watson not quite there down here in the corner number 1. Left 4, up 30 on the board. Everybody trying just to skate it around here at Williams Grove here tonight. In the Pro Late model, you watched the modified series here a little bit ago. That was from the Full Throttle Motorsports. And we're caught down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Back out there onto the back straightaway. Scott Riome there out front. Watson there second. Salas there third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. Andy Patton there fifth. As they bring it on through the back stretch down there. Through on the corner 3 and 4. And you see Salas trying to stay in third place. He's got Dylan Kinsey breathing down his neck. Watson breathing down the neck of Riome. Down through the backstretch. 24 laps to go. Now Watson looks to the inside, not quite thinking about it, and he breaks there a little bit. Down up there on the top side comes Watson as he tried to run that grip plane up there. Up there gets that outside cushion as it sits right now. As they push that cushion up farther up the racetrack. 23 laps to go. Riome out front. Watson there second. Salas third. Kinsey there fourth with Andy Patton fifth. Only half 5 drivers here tonight. 22 laps to go here from the Grove. In the corner number 3 and 4. Watson down there on the inside lane. Rehome up there. Oh boy! On the outside lane. As they bring it on back down there off turn number 4. Oh, I'm sorry, turn number 2. Down the backstretch. Salas there in third. Just doesn't seem to have anything up there for the front runners here as they come off the corner, down into corner number 1. And watch Scott Rio there in front, Watson there second, Salas there third. Watson trying to get underneath the Rio. Will do so here for the time being. And they're working on down there out of corner number 3 and 4 back out there. He's got it down there on the inside. Got that inside grip working for him. Maybe he can just get it the bike a little bit more. Rio hanging tough out on the outside. Salas down there in third. And he watches on with the battle for first and second taking place there in front of him. Rio, Watson battling hard for first and second. Watson just cannot get that pass completed. And now he goes up there to the top side as well. It's pretty much follow the leader out here in the Pro Late models from Regal Wraps and Designs. Again, thank you to Full Throttle Motorsports for all they do here for Thursday Night Thunder, sponsoring the Modified Series. And also shout out to Bill Calder, who we're having a great week for next week. So be sure to tune in at Coast to Coast Racing Network. And if you're interested in running, definitely check out their information at Coast to Coast or C2CRL.com. Again, that's C2CRL.com. Down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. Off of 2 they go. Watson back underneath Rio. Can't quite get there, but he's trying. As he goes back down there to the bottom side. There is quite a finesse. You have to work with that brake to try to get it to grip up and hold tight to a line to get that bottom to work the way you need it to. Salas still hanging on the third. Kinsey's not too far behind him. There goes Kinsey to the inside as Salas is up into the outside wall. Kinsey's going to end up taking third away. Here comes Andy Patton now. Salas in trouble. He's got front of that car all tore up. Andy Patton now takes over fourth. Scott Riome there in front. Watson in second. Kinsey third. Patton fourth. Alright, so I gotta work on that a little bit. There we got him coming there out of turn number 4 down that front straightaway. William Watson there in second. Kinsey there third. Patton there in fourth. Salas is out. So now we're down to just 4 drivers. Riome out there in front. Watson there second. Kinsey third. Tough break there for Salas. The Grove not playing nice here to some of these dirt track drivers tonight. There, Watson come down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Watson still trying to get there underneath Riome, just cannot quite get it to happen. 8 laps to go here for Salas. I'm sorry, here for Riome as he hangs on in front of Watson. Just trying to really watch him here get that better line. Rio might have lucked into one here tonight. Yeah, we got 7 laps to go. Just depends here. And he's got Watson still breathing down his neck. Watson trying to find any little bit ahead he can. Just cannot seem to get that pass made. He's running right there with Riome. He just can't seem to get that pass done. 6 laps to go. They work through 3 and 4. This is the Thursday Night Thunder here from Coast to Coast Racing Network. And Coast to Coast Racing League. Hey, Riome there. Watson fell back there a little bit. He tries to find where that momentum can be to help him get around Riome. Now Watson now back underneath of Riome coming out of 2. He's got there to the quarter panel, but he's not. Oh, and he slides there, just not enough. Fighting there beside one another. Watson down there on the inside. It's going to be Scott Riome here coming into corner number 1. Watson getting them there. Now it looks like Watson finally got him here with 3 to go. Down here into corner number 4. Here comes Riome now there down underneath. Can't quite get that done. Watson really had to work for that one. As it's now 2 laps to go down here into corner number 1 and 2. Riome there second. Kinsey in 3rd. Full throttle motorsports here, 1, 2, 3. But again, that's just 1, 2, 3 with drivers, as Andy Patton is your 4th driver back here, who is rolling around in 4th, down through turn 3 and 4 now. Here, final lap for Watson as he comes down that back straightaway. Riome in 2nd, Kinsey there 3rd. Back out here onto the front stretch, coming off a 4. Watson gets the win here at Williams Grove in the Pro Late Model. Scott Riome there in 2nd, Dylan Kinsey there 3rd, Andy Patton 4th. Here's your results. I'm going to take as long to run through this one here. William Watson getting the win. Scott Riome there 2nd. Dylan Kinsey 3rd. Andy Patton 4th. Isaac Salas there 5th. Joseph Grandy there in 6th. Clay Gustafson there in 7th. All right, there we go. Coming there off of the corner. And getting the win there. And see your lineup of victory drivers there. There you see that pass going on there with Scott Riome, about 3 to go. We'll get with Dylan Kinsey here, 3rd place finisher. Good evening there, Dylan. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Well, you lucked into a 3rd place there tonight. How do you feel?
All right. I don't know if I got into Isaac and then Matt got him in the wall, or he got in the wall and then I tapped him when I tried to swerve around him, so I got to go back and look at that. But that sucks because I lost him for a minute and then I caught back up to him and shaping up for a good battle, and then that happened. Like I said, I got to look at that. I don't know if he got the wall first or I just nudged him and then he got the wall. I don't know. I got to see. Kind of feel bad.
Yeah, it looks like he pushed himself up into the wall there coming into 3.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from my view, but like I said, I'm just going to go back and just to make sure, because I don't like that. I don't like doing that with Isaac. We always have a good time together, so.
It's always such a hard time, though, whenever you're out there running hard, and I mean, especially when the track completely wears differently all night long.
Yeah, and I don't run these a lot, so I'm not consistent with them. You know, I'll have a couple good laps, and then I'll have a couple of bad laps, and so, you know, I don't get enough seat time in these, so it's hard for me to feel comfortable every single lap.
Well, congrats on getting 3rd place tonight. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, all the guys at FTM, Dean Reynolds, the Super Duke car, Gunnar, Swan Speed Shop, Vertec Graphics and you for doing the broadcast and everyone that supposed to makes it happen.
Alrighty, well, congrats there, Dylan, and we'll see you next week. Congrats on getting that third place finish.
Thank you.
Alright, now we'll get with second place driver, Scott Rio. Alright, Scott, how do you feel after that one?
Sore, sweaty, thirsty. Just opened my 5th beer for the night.
Oh, man. Would that be why you might have lost there to Watson?
If I'm going to lose to somebody, I mean, losing to Bart, obviously, he's so good at these. The reason why I managed to even stay up there is because he helped us in practice, me and Dylan.
Well, I mean, you did a great job. You looked like you held him off as long as you could.
Yeah. I'll rub. I already made a sarcastic joke to him, but yeah, I guess if you can't pass somebody clean, you got to move him out of the way. So he was faster anyway. But just to be able to run up there and lead that many laps in one of these things, pretty big accomplishment for me.
Well, you definitely made him work for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. At least I made you work for one.
Well, congrats on getting second. You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank there for getting second place here tonight?
All the guys over at FTM, you for stepping up and filling in tonight again. Regal Wraps for the sponsorship this season in the late models. Being at Super Dirt Car. I don't even know who did this wrap, but it's nice. And we also have to. I gotta give Isaac a shout out. We're sorry we ruined your 6 in a row, but I told you before we even took the green, I don't like your chances. But just having some fun with Isaac. He's such a cool dude. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think Isaac. He was struggling getting it to turn here. It seemed tonight. So
yeah, I don't know. He was too far back. I couldn't even see him.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, just rubbing some dirt in Isaac's nose because he beats us so many times. It's fun to get up there over him. So
you got that one finish ahead of him, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm done for the year. I'm shutting my shit down.
All right. Well, congrats there, Scott, and we'll see how next week plays out for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, have yourself a great, wonderful night.
Yep, you too.
All right, now we'll get with our winner, William Watson. Good evening here, Watson. How's it going?
How you, bud?
I'm doing well. Well, you shut Salas down here tonight.
Yeah, I had to do it too.
I don't know if you did or if he did it to himself. I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh yeah, I was going for the win. He's getting all these triple night wins and stuff, but I'm looking at the standings right now, and I'm in first in all 3 of these from for tonight. So I got to keep that up. So I'm definitely gonna go for the win. Just shut him down tonight. Yeah, that was a good race. That's probably the best race I've had this season, just because I had to fight so hard for it.
Yeah, I mean, you have been having to fight hard. You definitely had to fight Scott harder tonight than what you normally do, right?
Yeah, I gave him some pointers on corner entry there in practice. Him and DK, and he put it to use because the corner entry is everything in these cars. It
definitely is.
Yeah, I showed him my line real early, and he took it away from me, and I couldn't get back to it. I was just waiting for a mistake. And I know he said I moved him, but I went back and looked. It was a little net code. I was probably still going to touch him, but it was a little net code.
iRacing helped you out, right?
Yeah, it did. If I wouldn't have touched him, I wouldn't have got by him. As simple as that.
Hey, you definitely had a great run there, and are you done giving him pointers now?
No, I'm always going to give my teammates pointers. if I know something, they're going to know it too. Especially in most of the teams, they want to race these late models, and I guess I've got more seat time in them. And you can tell Scott wants to be fast, DK wants to be fast in these things. They're already fast in the big blocks. as long as they can keep people from wrecking them. So I'm always going to give pointers to my teammates. But they've helped me, and I'm going to help them.
Alrighty, well, congrats there. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory?
Yeah, Regal Wraps, Teammates at FTM, Swan Speed Shop, Dupro Performance, GripHacks.com, Dina Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the wraps that I got on the cars, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and Hubert Broadcasting, as always, bud.
Yeah, that was the one sponsor, Scott couldn't remember who did the wrap on his car.
Yeah.
So, but congrats there tonight, getting that win here in the Pro Late Models, and we'll see what next week brings you there, William.
I appreciate it.
All right, everyone have a great night. Enjoy that victory.
You too, bud.
All right, I'll wrap it up here from Williams Grove here with the Coast to Coast Racing League here on Coast to Coast Racing Network. Bringing you the Thursday Night Thunder. Once again, your finishing order. William Watson getting the win. Scott Rione there second. Dylan Kinsey there third. Andy Patton fourth. Isaac Salas there in fifth. Joseph Grandy there in sixth. Gregor Dobson seventh. So thank you all for tuning in. Have yourselves a great and wonderful night.
Thank you.